Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code DRASIN12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Hi you guys, welcome to Rick's Corner. I got John Hart here, Mr. America again. We're going to discuss a couple of things that pertain to your lifestyle, your training, your body, and getting ripped. Yeah. Among other things. All right, so getting ripped at 50 or over, huh?
Yeah.
Stop eating.
Well, that's one thing. That's for sure. I won't lie. I won't tell stories here. You know, after you hit 50, you're going to be hungry. You know, there's definitely periods you're going to be hungry, and you're going to feel not quite as energetic. That's a fact. But you can soften the blow a little bit.
Well, I don't know. See, I mean, maybe if I think back that far, I mean, it's ways, so I have to remember what I did, but I know I ate correctly.
Yes.
But I don't know if I was really that hungry like I was when I was in my 20s.
You were eating fats. You were eating fats with the protein, right?
Yeah, your appetite changes. Now today meaning this time in my life, God, I get full really quick.
Yeah.
I can't eat near as much as I used to, and I don't even like the taste of food.
Small
I go to eat, it's like, no, I don't even want to eat that. I eat eggs, they get bigger in my mouth. I eat chicken, I have to wash it down with water. It's like, what's wrong? Unless I got some sort of a bug or something, it just doesn't, I don't care for it.
Well, for sure, you know, even the people listening, if you're fortunate enough to make it past 50 in this life, right, you're going to find that there's changes, and that includes your appetite. And so, whereas you could probably knock down an entire pizza and 2 liters of soda and a few beers, whatever you want to do, back in the day. That's just not the case anymore. It's a little bit more difficult. Your stomach doesn't want to handle it. And you got a price to pay. So, if your goal, though, is to get ripped, this is one of the things that after 50, we know that if you've been training, the majority of the guys, we've already attained most of the mass you're going to get by that stage in your life. But one of the fun things you can play with seasonally, of course, in Southern California, right, we have a long, nice, hot season, right, is to get ripped. You can control your body fat a little bit, and spend some time working on it and chiseling it up, and that's something that no matter what your age, sometimes the guys in their 50s, the skin is so thin, that little pad of fat is missing.
Well, you get skin damage as you get older. You get first of all, you get skin cancer, which I have, and your skin thins out as you get older, and then you start getting lay in the sun, you start getting all kinds of things going on. Then I go on blood thinner, so I bruise easy.
Oh, yeah.
That just happens as you get older to most everybody. But at my age, my appetite isn't what it used to be. I try to eat the right thing for the meal, which is protein, but I can't eat that much of it. And even on sweets, if you give me something sweet with it, it's like a couple of bites and it's just too much all of a sudden.
Right.
But then I have to laugh about this because this is why they have senior meals. And older people eat at 5 o'clock. They get the senior meal discounted, and it's half the amount of food because they can't eat that much.
Right.
And I've seen elderly couples out to eat dinner, and they'll split a dinner because it's too much for one person. And I've done that too. I'll get a big steak, and I'll say, shit, I'll eat half of this and take half home.
Right.
Whereas before, I could eat the whole thing.
So what we're saying for sure is by virtue of just getting older, the appetite's going to get a little smaller. Okay, year by year, you just don't want to eat as much. But if you have a defined goal and you're getting past that age, 50-ish or so, I was, this is a whole 50 thing for me right now because I'm 54 and I've been in this decade now. And at first I didn't even want to talk about it when I turned 50, right? But now it's like all I talk about is, wow, you can do this, you can do that. And as I'm moving on, I still want to have a season, of get ripped. Like right now, summer's coming here in SoCal, right?
Yeah.
We're coming out of a terrible season, terrible weather, and for us, listen to the babies over here in Southern California. But the variables of the training, ramping up the training with a little bit more intensity, right? To get that lean muscle mass to be a little bit higher, to speed up that metabolism. That's one of the things that I definitely do. The cardio, throwing in a few sessions of cardio here and there, right? That I normally wouldn't do in the middle of the winter. I know that's like sacrilege to a lot of people, but to me, it's almost mandatory, right?
But, big B-U-T.
Yeah.
How many people really feel that way? What percentage? It's only a small percent, like you and I and other people who bodybuild, that we got to get in shape for the summer, we got to get ripped, we can't have any body fat. The majority of the public doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere outside of LA, for example. I can go up north or other. Everybody's out of shape and fat. They couldn't care less about going to the gym and working out, and they'll eat potatoes and fries and all that stuff because they don't care.
Well, they're still in the middle of their winter too. It's February.
But even in
March.
summer, they don't care. I've talked to people out in these towns, and I need to get in shape, but it's just too hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard for people, and people I've known in my past who have a different lifestyle, to sit down and eat a meal that's healthy for them. They just don't want to do it.
Right.
It's too much work. It's too much work. Well, work to me would be like digging a hole in my backyard, Work to them is like reaching for the sugar instead of the sweet and low. Now, sweet and low is not the best thing in the world for you, but at least it's not sugar. And I told this guy, he said, well, it's too hard to reach for it. I said, you got a white pack and you got a pink pack.
Yeah.
How hard is it to pick
Reach
up the
that
pink one?
ways.
Right.
Right.
Come on, man. You're killing yourself. Why do you get a piece of meat here with mashed potatoes and gravy and garlic bread when you don't need to eat that, and you're already overweight anyway? You can get a steak and some eggs and a cottage cheese or some fresh fruit. I just had strawberries and blueberries for a side dish rather than cottage cheese because it tasted so good. I get sick of cottage cheese, even though it's a good protein source.
Yes,
it does get kind of old.
Yes. Well, now we just talked about, right, ramping up the training, getting in some cardio. For us, right, Southern California, and any of you out there who really are interested in these types of things this time of year, the diet. Now, you and I always talk about this, right, that as I'm getting older, I end up listening more to what you have to say and actually using a little bit more over time. It's not just dropping the carbs for me. It's actually controlling the calories too. That's my big thing. But so I just don't randomly eat. You know what I'm saying? But for sure, in the 70s, you guys were doing it with a little bit more protein, fats for sure. The carbs were not a part of the deal, right?
No.
So, but they can't be dropped entirely, right?
No, but even at protein, back in the days, we didn't have protein. I mean, we did, but I don't know who was making it. I had a friend give me some. He said, just add water and drink it. It had a bland taste to it. I tried dehydrated fish powder by Hoffman. Holy shit, that was bad. It's like eating a dead fish out of the sea that's been ground up in your blender. Jim Morris used to take liver and put it in the blender and drink it down, just raw liver. I mean, when they go to any extremes to get the protein source,
right.
And then Rio Blair came out with a protein that was very expensive, but it's a good protein.
Right.
And Joe Weider had some. Everybody had their own brand of proteins. Well, now I realize today, and I'm sponsored by Old School Labs, and I like their stuff. They have really good stuff. I would rather take, and I like their protein, but rather than the protein, I just do the amino acid powder.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, amino acid powder with water. 2 scoops, and you've got just the amount of protein and amino acids that you need, and it tastes like Kool-Aid.
Branch chains?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's one of the supplements that I do use.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Absolutely necessary on a low-calorie plan. When I go low-calorie, I have to have those aminos. I gotta have. It most definitely assists. I know there's people out there that say studies that you don't need them, okay? But that's if you're eating enough all the time. But I'm talking about when we go into a reduction plan, or we're trying to drop body fat, those little supplements, I do use the creatine, I do use the branch chain aminos like you just mentioned. And yeah, fruity. It also is satisfying. It keeps me from going and eating.
I haven't done the creatine in years. I don't know if I really need it. I'm holding water right now anyway, so I take a diuretic because of this injury in my leg. I need to get the water out of there. I need to put water into it.
Right.
You want to hold water in the muscle and outside the muscle.
Right.
And sometimes if your heart's not pumping right or you have an injury, it goes outside. But the amino acids are good. I also take from this company, and I'll show a picture of it. It's grass-fed liver pills.
Ooh.
And it's got B12 and niacin, B12 and iron in it. And I take 6 a day, and it really improved my workouts. Now, liver pills are great. We used to use that dehydrated liver back in the 70s.
Right, desiccated liver,
Desiccated liver, oh my God. And it gave you a ton of gas and hard to digest.
I've used it.
This stuff works. I take it with the aminos around 4 in the afternoon and again at bedtime. And don't forget fiber.
Oh, absolutely.
Someone said to me, "You guys had a lot of protein. What'd you do for fiber?" Well, Metamucil is orange flavored.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't taste bad. If you mix that around 11 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night for your bedtime drink, and you can put a scoop of vanilla protein in it,
yes,
it tastes like one of those old-fashioned 50-50 popsicles.
Yeah, that's the way. That's right. I understand.
or an orange Julius.
Yep.
Yeah, the orange flavored fiber with vanilla caramel protein. Holy, that's really good. And it's good for you.
See, the other thing that I do is at night, before I even get to that, I'll end up having a protein drink at night, but I'll end up having a huge trough of salad, right, with my protein in there.
Oh.
I just cut up and throw it right in the salad, right?
Yeah.
So I go with a huge salad, which to me, the calories are negligible. And, carbs-wise is nothing.
What time of night is this?
Man, that's close to bed, man.
I can't eat that much at a time.
I do.
Funny thing was, when we were down in Santa Monica training at Venice, we'd go over to Zucchi's Deli, and I mentioned it several times on 5th and Wilshire. It was a hangout, 10 o'clock at night, and the end meal of the night was a cheese omelet.
Yes.
And that was our protein for the night. Jerry Brenham used to eat a pound of ground beef before he'd go to bed. So how do you sleep with all that meat in your stomach? But he did, and it worked.
Well, that right there, there's no carbs in that, so the blood sugar is not going to spike. So you are having a little more of a benefit of the fat, accessing fatty acids for energy, and lower insulin levels.
And also,
so I like that.
And also, don't say that you're taking Metamucil or fiber because you're old, because you don't. My kids take it. You need some sort of roughage in your stomach to keep your colon and everything active, some sort of a fiber, and this stuff works really well. I also do apple cider vinegar twice a day. I don't even taste it, but it's definitely good for keeping you from having colds and sickness, and it does a lot of healing stuff. I've never been sick since I've been on it.
Man, there's two things I can't stand: the smell of that apple cider vinegar,
really?
and then and that quinoa stuff that everybody likes.
I don't eat.
Yuck.
And even my kids do the apple cider vinegar. I mean,
really?
It's definitely good for you.
Wow.
Look it up. Do a search on it. It's
wow.
I just do a teaspoon in my juice in the morning with apple juice, and then I do the collagen and the amino acids with that. Then I have my breakfast, and I found something. You guys are going to laugh at me because I always believed in oatmeal and eggs.
Yeah.
Well, I figured why make each thing separately, and each one. I normally eat everything separately, one at a time. Then I go to this, and then I go to that. Well, I made the oatmeal. I cut up a little bit of banana. I stir it up with hot water, and then now you're going to laugh at this one. I take eggs and I make them in the microwave. Someone says microwave is not good for the food. Bullshit. It works fine. It heats it up and it cooks it.
Right.
So I put 3 or 4 eggs in there, and it looks like a souffle, and I plop that on top of the oatmeal.
Right.
I've got everything in one bowl. This is a bachelor's way of life.
That's right.
And you sit down at the kitchen table and you eat your oatmeal and eggs and your banana all at once.
Right. Your body doesn't know the difference.
No, I used to do that for a 4 o'clock snack. My son would say, "Let's have that power snack," and we would make it like that, and maybe we'd put a little something else on it. I can't remember what it was, but it. No, it was the oatmeal, the protein, the eggs, sliced bananas, and we put some raisins and a little bit of cinnamon.
See, that sounds delicious. See,
good.
That's stuff you got to look forward. You got to look forward to what you're having. So especially when I'm on a low calorie plan, I have to like my food.
Yes.
So that's key. It keeps you on your diet. That's absolutely necessary for breakfast. I do have whey protein, regular, but it's grass fed. I like.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. As I'm getting older, is that the absorption is more important to me. So we've talked about this before, where I use digestive enzymes, right? HCl, I use pepsin to break down the protein that I do eat to absorb it better. But having protein powder as well, but it's grass-fed, is easier on my gut. It doesn't get me bloated. I don't get any of that stuff that some of the guys tell me about, getting. So for me, dropping my calories for most days of the week, I still do. One of the things that I have, taken from you is I do take that one day each week, and I do up those calories quite a bit as far as carbohydrates go.
Yeah.
I do get a little dirty with it if necessary, but when I'm shooting for that dig in the fat cells type thing, I'll go 6 days, or sometimes I have a fast metabolism, so I can go 3 or 4 days, and then maybe I'll have a little cheat, but that cheat might be a bowl of rice.
But it's okay.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me.
No, grass-fed I can't do out here because people walk their dogs on my grass, and it's all full of dog crap. I'm not eating anything to come out of there.
Not that grass,
but
man.
The other night I wanted dinner, and I thought, what do I really want? We have a chain of restaurants that you guys might have them too, called Dickey's. And Dickey's is barbecued beef or chicken or pork or whatever. And they have a brisket, which is very lean, and it's barbecued. And my God, it's the best brisket I think I've, even better than my mom's used to make. So I drove over there, and I got a half a pound of brisket and a little thing of baked beans. Because beans are good carbs.
Yeah.
You put the beans on top of the brisket and eat it all at once. But they had a dessert, which was a chocolate cake with a chocolate chip cookie brownie. They make themselves, and I said, let me take one of those. And I had about 3 or 4 bites. I said, oh man, I can't eat this. It was so rich that it's like, no, I can't. It was good, but I couldn't eat it. Couldn't handle it.
See, that's a once a week thing for me. I have to say that.
You can.
Even on a diet plan, I can do that once a week.
Yeah. But rather than the chocolate and that stuff, I'd rather have cinnamon and brown sugar, something like a coffee cake.
Wow.
To me, it tastes better, and it's not as rich, and it's just, Starbucks has a cinnamon coffee cake. They give a little square. Suckers are like really good, and it doesn't wipe me out like the chocolate does. Maybe it's just the chocolate.
So you said you don't use any creatine.
No.
And when you were a little bit younger, did you? When it was out?
I've had it off and on in my life.
See, I get so much out of it, man. For me, especially when I'm on a diet, I gotta have that creatine, the branched chains.
I don't know where to fit it in. I got so much stuff in that kitchen I take. Where do you take the creatine? What time of day?
I throw that immediately after. I'll do it before I work out. I'll have it with whatever meal I had before I work out.
Yeah.
And then I'll drink it with water, slug it down. Just stir it in some water, boom, down it goes.
You have to load and do that 4 days.
I don't do that loading thing, man. I want to respect my kidneys now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I only have one kidney. So I don't want to mess it up with all this other stuff.
Nah.
But,
it's been proven, though, that the creatine now, if you don't load, but you do it just 5 grams a day for 30 days, that you're already loaded. It'll load.
Oh, I'm sure it will. I got a bottle in there right now.
Right.
Maybe I'll take it later. I don't know. I just forget. I got so much stuff to take. I don't know what to take. People walk in here and say, "What is this? A health food store?" I said, "It looks like it, doesn't it?"
Well, you
take all that? And I said, "No, not all of it, but I mean, at certain intervals."
Well, old school takes good care of you. I'm basic with just 4, literally just 4: the creatine, the branched chains, the whey protein, and I'll do a caffeine. I mean, that's one of the things I'll tell you that I don't overdo it, but. Having caffeine, I think it helps to mobilize the fat cells. I do it, 2 times a day or so. Even when I was a teenager and when I was in my 20s, I noticed, if I had a cup of coffee in the morning and I was just into a fat burning cycle pre-contest, man, early afternoon I hit it again, and it helped. It suppressed my appetite. It gave me good energy. And then I'd pass out, about 5 hours later, I'd be ready for bed.
Do you watch the Channel 5 News in the morning?
No.
They have a doctor that comes on. He's an Egyptian, very nice looking guy. He's a heart specialist. And I listen to him. He knows a lot. And he was on the other day talking about people with pre-workout drinks and after-workout drinks and this and that. And I didn't expect to hear this from him, but he said that everybody who has a pre-workout drink, they're taking sugar. Sugar brings you up and it crashes you. You don't really need it. And he says the one afterwards, because if you think you sweat a lot and you need like Gatorade and stuff like that, chances are you really don't, unless you're out in the field running sprints and really sweating up a storm. But after weights, it doesn't no good. It's just sugar. He says, and what you really want after you work out, and I've said this for years, is protein. So after I work out, I'd always take a protein drink. Then someone said, no, you need carbohydrates and sugar for the glycogen in your muscles. So people were eating gummy bears. So if you do a combination of protein and a little sugar after your workout, you'll get both of them, and it'll work on your body better.
That's right. The
pre-workout drinks, I never did, and now they give me some stuff, so I take it. And what it does for me is it jacks me up a little bit, and I start talking, you can't shut me up.
That's what it does.
Yeah, so if I'm going to go on stage and do comedy, then I'm going to take a pre-workout drink.
Now, does it have sugar in it? Did you look on the label?
I didn't see any, but I'm sure it probably does.
If it does, I would think it would be a small amount. They put a lot of artificial sweetener in there.
Yeah.
But it is for that little bit of a rush, and they usually put a citrulline in there too to open the blood vessels a little bit. It actually kind of lowers blood pressure so it doesn't let it get too out of control. But yeah, those things... The idea when I go into, like now I'm entering week by week, a lower calorie phase, a little diet phase, so I can get a little leaner every week. And when I do this, those little things to me, having an amino drink that just tastes all fruity and everything, man, it keeps me from going and grabbing something that I'm not supposed to eat.
Oh, I'll eat a tangerine or something.
No, well, I'm saying if I'm not supposed to have those calories, you know what I mean? I can go and knock down a branched chain drink, and it just gives me that satisfaction.
You don't need that. You take that, some aminos and some liver pills, you're good to go.
That's it. So that actually helps. But dropping those calories you have to dig into those fat cells. You got to make it, 3-4 days. Sometimes 6 days, but you got to dig into those fat cells for those days. Otherwise, you're not going to get there. There's too many people that they say they're eating healthy or they're eating clean, but we know they're eating too much. So that doesn't allow them to go ahead and lose body fat. You have to get below your maintenance levels at some point, in my opinion, unless you're on a keto-ish type thing. If you're eating high fat and protein, then you probably don't need to go super low in the calories because you're already controlling your insulin levels pretty well.
Yeah. Don't laugh at me when I say this, and don't write in and tell me I'm wrong, because I've had this happen before, but this is basically just a joke. People say, oh, I got to eat clean, no preservatives, everything has to be natural, and this and that, and I tell people, and I'm just joking with them, but you guys might take it serious, because someone always writes in, you're so wrong. I eat everything I can that has preservatives. Everything. I got jelly, peanut butter, all that stuff preserved. It'll last on my shelf 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And the reason I say to people that I eat this is because if that lasts that long and I eat it, I'll last that long.
You're going for 100 at least.
Yeah, I'll be preserved. Right? And so someone writes, well, you can't be eating that stuff. I said, this is just a damn joke. You know,
Right.
But it's funny.
Right.
If you tell a person on the street this, they look at you like, oh, really? Oh,
Right.
I never knew that. But, you know, it's fun to have fun with people anyway. I went to the movies the other day and I saw this movie about wrestling with family that The Rock produced.
Oh, yeah?
Really good movie. So I'm waiting in the elevator. There's 12 people in there, and I'm missing this finger. Some lady comes and she grabs the door, and I said, oh, don't do that. She said, why? I said, because I lost my finger in this door 2 years ago. Now I got free movie passes, free popcorn, and free Coke.
Stop.
They said, really? I said, well,
the jokes today.
I said, yeah, pretty much that's real. And then when I was with my girlfriend, I did this once at a hotel. They looked at her, because they always looked at her, and they said, is that true? She says, I don't know, last week it was an alligator. You got to keep them laughing. You got to have fun. All right, so we were talking when you came in about people who write me a lot of emails. And I get tons of these. You guys got to know, I get a lot of emails from all over the world. What was your diet in the 70s? How did you work out? How many sets and reps? I just want to ask you a few questions. And how can I do this? And can you give me a routine? And you can help me with this. And I said, you know, as much nice a guy as I am, I don't have time for this.
Right.
I'm doing other things. I can't sit and answer 100 emails on how to train. Now, like all trainers, they do online training. If you want to pay me for my time, I will be happy to help you out with it. But I can't do this for free all day long. I just don't have the time.
That's fair. That's fair.
And you know, I got to pay for my creatine.
Wait, you're sponsored, man.
This is true.
Come on now.
I know.
I'm catching
but
all these
it does take a lot. If you watch my show and hear what I say, you won't be asking me those questions because it's all right here, right now for you to hear.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
This is why we go on the show, and
Exactly.
trying to share the little things, some of the bigger things too. I mean, this is fun.
You and I both know that we've had friends pass away in bodybuilding at a younger age, and they have whatever's wrong with them, and it could be heart issues or whatever. And Jeff Everson, unfortunately, just passed away. He was a great guy. He was 68 years old, healthy-looking guy, and they said natural causes. I don't know what the natural causes were. I heard a heart issue, but don't always be so quick when someone's gone like this to jump and say steroids, because that's not the case.
Right.
It's not 99% of the time, it's something else. Steroids are not the killer of the people that we know, unless you're going completely nuts and abusing a thing. But you can do the same thing with aspirin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They had a model that drank too much water and she drowned herself because she's trying to wash her system out. So,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you take. If you take an abundance of something, you can kill yourself.
There's a woman at the gym where I'm at who she killed herself with Tylenol and Advil.
Really?
Yeah, ibuprofen. She just she took it as a sleep aid, and then she had pain, so she was on it all day long.
Oh, yeah, it's not good
and
for
she
you.
never stopped, and so she burnt out I think it was the Tylenol that killed her kidneys.
Tylenol usually goes to the liver, and ibuprofen goes to the kidney.
Okay, so she was having both. She had multiple.
You can
organ
do a couple of pills a day, but you can't do 10 or 12.
No.
There's no way. And pretty soon your body gets used to it and doesn't even work anymore.
No, not at all.
I have a pain in my leg. As you people know, I had a hematoma in my calf, which been like 7 months now, right? And it's almost all healed up, but there's a nerve in there that kind of hurts me, and I'm going to the chiropractor today. So I got a prescription for Medrol. A Medrol pack lasts 5 days, and what it is, it's cortisone tablets.
Yes.
You take 2 in the morning, 1 at lunch, 1 at night, 2 at bedtime. It makes you feel a little bit hot in the face, but that takes all the pain out. I'm telling you, it takes all the pain out of everything. It's an anti-inflammatory. But what it did do, and I went to the gym today, is my strength was probably 3 times normal than it normally was.
Come on.
This is a cortisone pill, and it just made me stronger.
Yes.
Nothing hurt, and my strength was...
Well, you mentioned fluid retention too.
Yeah, I have a little fluid retention.
So that'll help also. So you have fluid being retained in the muscle cells, between the muscle cells. You're going to end up having some, in between the muscle groups themselves. You're definitely going to be stronger. That's for sure.
It definitely works, but I felt good. Once this thing heals up, I'll be able to do legs again. I'll feel 100%. But I still weigh 222, even like this.
Wow.
People guess, what are you, 185, 190? I know. I look
you have more muscle than that. When you look at you from the side, you see you're thick.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing, though? One more about the dieting, about the getting ripped?
No, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Is that, we're over? One more?
Yeah, of course.
All right, one more. So the last thing I wanted to drop was carb cycling. You hear everybody talk about carb cycling. Very big right now, okay? Whether we're talking about a natural bodybuilding or even regular bodybuilding, it's carb cycling. Almost everybody does some form of carb cycling. But the bottom line
Want to say it one more time?
Carb cycling.
Okay, good.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, if you're not calorie cycling, so I focus more on the calories. So when I'm digging into those fat cells, I'm keeping an eye on my calories, and by virtue of just being on low calorie, the carbs are lower. But then so is the protein and the fats. That's one thing that I know you guys wouldn't let the protein go down, right?
No.
So I let it go down a little bit. So I cycle my calories instead of the carbs, so that when they're down, I know I'm digging into those fat cells for sure. So I just don't make the exception of, I'm a little bit hungry today, I'll have a little bit more chicken or something like that, or have an extra chicken breast with, or an extra a piece of steak, or an extra couple of eggs. I won't do it, or a piece of cheese. I won't do it because I don't want the calories to get up there. I'm cycling the calories.
Do you know how many calories you get a day?
Yeah. I'll go at 2,600 on a low right now, and then later on though, as the weeks go by, that number goes a little lower.
Yeah, mine's between 1,800 and 22.
Yeah.
It never goes much over that because I just don't eat that much food.
No, and this is low for me, so I'll go as high as 3,000.
And then I hear guys doing 5,000 calories a day and 7,000. I think, my God, how can you do that? I mean, you got to be eating all day long for hours to get your calories up like that.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
I'm still eating, 5-6 times a day. I'll still get it in with, carbs, protein, and fats, but I'll still do that 5-6 times a day. And that's just what I'm used to doing. I've been used to doing it all my life.
Yeah, if you're used to it, you haven't lived all your life yet. When people say that, I've been doing this all my life. You're 22. All your life. Is that it? Is it over?
Yeah. They haven't been around even for...
You haven't lived all your life.
I haven't been around for a minute yet.
Tell me this in another 50 years.
Yeah.
But I have been doing what I've been doing all my life to this point. And it's just always worked for me. And people are like me, aren't you bored like that? Don't you get tired of eating like that? Don't you get tired of working out? Nope.
Well, this is why you gain respect, okay? There are people, I've seen the comments, right, on the videos, on our videos as well. And I've seen how you have respect from a lot of the people who are watching simply because you're still going. You're still doing it. All of that now, even in your 70s, you're still cranking it out.
I just want to say one thing, and I'm not doing this for the pity party kind of thing, but I've been through a lot of injuries from wrestling. A lot of injuries. I've torn both quads. I've torn my tricep. I've lost teeth, dislocated, the joints, and pulled muscles. And I still go to the gym every day, regardless. I lost this finger, and this finger. I was in the gym 2 days later.
Right.
But because I have that drive, and I know that if I go, mentally I'll feel better, and physically I feel better.
That's right.
Yesterday was a very, very hard day for me on my calf. It was hurting. The side of my hip was hurting. I could hardly walk. I had to go from no cane to a walker because I couldn't get around. I got to the gym, and I used a walker, and I went around to every place I could to do my body parts and came home. Someone said, why aren't you home? How are you getting around? You don't look like you feel very good. I said, my leg's just killing me. When I step on my foot, it's like a hot knife going in my ankle. But I'm here.
How long did that workout take you to get around?
I got around normal time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went through my workout like I normally would. I don't let things slow me down. I mean, I waited about 15-20 seconds between sets, and I did what I had to do, and getting up and down is the hardest, but once I'm up and moving around, I'm okay. Yeah. But if I can do that and go through this, and I'm not saying you have to do that, then I'll get someone who says, I got a cold, I can't go to the gym today. Really? You're going to let that hold you back? You don't want to contaminate others, but there's ways around stuff. You got to do something, and maybe I'm a little extreme, but when I leave the gym, I felt to myself, I actually feel better.
Right.
That I went.
Right. Or even worse, some of them say it is cold, therefore I won't go to the gym.
We had this. We had 16 inches of rain this year.
That's right. You
know what? I went to the gym, worked out. I had to almost swim through the river to get down there, but the gym was halfway vacant. No one wanted to go out.
Just coming out here to visit with you, man. We've had some serious...
I didn't want to go out, but I thought I don't want to stay home either. I know that I can go get a workout and feel good, maybe stop by Starbucks, visit for a bit, have some coffee, come home and shoot a show. So if you take your day like you normally would every day in your life, even if you have an injury, you have an ailment, you have something not feeling real well, that time will pass quicker than if you just sit home and dwell on it.
Absolutely true, man. And plus you gotta have goals. That's why I came here. That's why I talked to you ahead of time and saying I wanted to talk about, man, getting ripped after 50 because I have goals. Each year I have to set a goal. When I talk about a seasonal thing right now of dropping the calories, dropping the body fat, it's just seasonal going into the summer, but then by the end of the summer, I have fun manipulating it back up again.
Yeah.
You know, so heading into the holidays.
Well, everything's a challenge, and everything should be an experiment. I mean, when I trained 30, 40 years ago to now even, I have various workouts that I like, but each time I go is an experiment. Now, Vince Taylor sent me those grip balls to use for my training. I use them all the time. Those things are the best things I've ever seen as far as gripping the cables. All right, so I use those in place of handles nowadays. Or I'll do something else in place of something else. But I'll do something and still work the body part, and because I'm doing a different exercise for that part and a different for this one, my enthusiasm's up again.
Right.
And I don't go to the gym and say, oh, I hate working out. When is the last time you ever said you hate working out? When's the last time you ever said, I hate being in shape?
Yes.
You know, come on.
Yes. Well, that's just it. See, that's what keeps me going, is the idea of being in shape. I can still remember just a couple of years ago, still competing, that man, it's still a rush seeing that skin get thin, seeing those veins coming on out.
Yeah.
And that's the type of thing that even as you go into your 50s, your 60s, Clarence Bass proved it, man, year after year. You know? Ed Corney was still doing it in his 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, getting that thin skin, you know, bringing it down. When you do that, it's exciting waking up each day, just like you're doing a contest. It gets exciting to be able to see the changes every day. But it's something that I have fun with.
Average person would never understand that.
No, average person, if you haven't done a show, if you haven't pushed through that process, then it's too vague of an idea.
I see some of these younger girls in their 20s, and they're stuffed into their jeans and tops, and they're so fat around their waist, and you know they just don't know how to diet down.
Right.
And it's the same thing with wrestling. If you look at the indie leagues with the wrestlers today, none of them take pride in their bodies. They don't want to work out or whatever they do. I remember training these guys outside here. They'd wear t-shirts and jeans. Every time they take a bump and the guy grabs a hold, he's pulling his t-shirt down over his stomach. One of the guys would. I said, "Why are you doing that?" "Oh, I don't want my stomach to show." I said, "You're supposed to be fighting.
That's right.
If the guy's fighting you, are you worried about how your stomach looks? Then get in fucking shape, you know, so you don't have to worry about it." We wore wrestling tights and no shirts when I wrestled, and we always look good, and there's no fat hanging over, there's no shirt to pull down. You focus on what you're doing in the ring. Right. So times have changed.
Yes.
And then women get weird. They say, "Oh, I don't know, I don't want to get dressed in front of you. You look better than I do." I said, "I'm not competing with you. But if you want to shape that body up, quit eating the French fries that you're eating every day."
Right.
Why, do you think I'm fat? I don't think you're fat, but you could definitely stand to lose a few pounds. I don't want to be cruel, but they know when they look in the mirror.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's just one meal at a time.
That's
you
right.
don't sit down on Monday and say, "Okay, Friday I'm going to eat such and such." I used to think that I had to plan ahead, but I take each meal as it comes. If I'm going to eat this for breakfast, I'm going to have this for lunch. Today I had a turkey sandwich for lunch with little berries because I wanted the turkey. I didn't eat most of the bread.
Right.
I didn't really want it. I just wanted the taste of it. So one meal at a time, and you eat right, and then it's on to the next thing, and then that's how it works.
That's right. No, I understand. Hey, can you mention my channel before we go?
Sorry.
Please.
I can't.
Please let them know.
You can.
Come visit me after you're done watching this video and all of Rick's videos. Mr. America Heart YouTube channel. Got a lot of good material on there as well. Been putting up the videos, and make some comments. I'll be happy to do some new ones for you guys. That's it.
John, thank you so much
for
being here.
It's a pleasure.
You guys have a wonderful day, morning, evening, whatever time it is in your part of the country right now. We gave you really good advice for free. So don't criticize it and say it's wrong, because it's not. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about, and so does John. So see you next time. Stay tuned for traffic and weather. See you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
equalizer, baby. See you next time.